Now joined by our second place finisher, Rickyt Stenhouse Jr., driver of the number 17 Fastenal Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. Tonight's race, he tied a career best finish set at Bristol in March 2014, and this is the highest finish for Roush Fenway Racing this season. So Ricky, congratulations on a great race. Just talk about it out there.
Yeah, it was tough. We didn't have the car exactly where we needed to be to start the race. Went 2 laps down. Wasn't real sure we were going to be able to get back on the lead lap. We had some really good timely cautions. Nick made a lot of great changes to get our car better, and that was the really the thing that turned us around was the good adjustments on pit road, and we made a lot of them. So really good team effort. I really wanted to park it in victory lane for Brian and his family, but we just came up 1 spot short. I thought we were matching the 4-car lap for lap there at the end, and just starting 6th. He kind of stretched it out on me, and I wasn't able to really make a run at it. So really happy with how we ended the day. It was a tough weekend.
Okay, we'll open up for questions for Ricky. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll start with Matt and then come up to Tucker.
Matt Weaver, Racer.com, Auto Week magazine. How involved has Chris and Bob been as far as team meetings and things of that nature, and how welcoming have the primary guys at Roush Fenway Racing been to y'all's collaboration?
Oh, they're in every single meeting. We share a lot of information. It's awesome to start seeing it paying off. I know they were struggling at the beginning of the year. Chris is a great race car driver. He showed that in the Xfinity Series. And, I think the time in the car every week, and getting better with working with Bob, his first year working with him as a crew chief. And, they're very, very integrated into our processes. And, it starts at the top. Everybody at Roush Fenway has been working hard to improve what we're coming to the track with. And that goes down to the 34 team as well.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Tucker and then over to Bob.
Tucker White, SpeedwayMedia.com. Now, Ricky, granted your runner-up finish did have a lot of help from a good chunk of attrition, but what does a runner-up finish like this say about the continuing efforts to bring Roush Fenway Racing back to the top of the series?
Yeah, I mean, it's I know for me that we didn't pass all the cars out there. We didn't we didn't pass the best of the best cars out there, but we passed some cars that were running and leading laps throughout the whole race. The 19 led a lot of laps, or led some laps, ran up front. The fastest car here in qualifying there. So we passed some good cars. I mean, we got to look at it as what we were able to accomplish coming from 2 laps down and making our car better. I do think that some of those cars in the wreck we could have got by after making our car better, but we know we still got a lot of work to do. But this is just builds confidence that we were able to get our car better throughout the race.
Okay, next question from Bob, and then Kenny, and then we'll go over to Pete and Rick.
Bob Hocker's ESPN. If there was a late caution, would you have had something for Harvick, or did he have the best car at the end?
I don't really know. I mean, he had a lead big enough that he may not have been pressing the issue as much. I thought we were lapping him at lap time, lap for lap. So, I'd definitely give it all I got if we had a restart there. Like I said last time in here, a restart, on the front row here at Bristol. If you don't give it all you got and move them out of the way, or whatever you need to do, you don't really want it bad enough. So we would have given it all we got, and I thought we had a car that was capable of doing that. The run before we put tires on, when him and the 22 were battling, I thought we were faster than they were, lap for lap. So I definitely think we would have had a shot at it.
Okay, next question from Kenny.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Ricky, Bristol's typically been a pretty good track for you. Given your season this year, did you feel like you had a shot at a top 10, top 5 finish here this weekend? And also, did the way the changes to the track, did that impact the way you raced here at all?
I always feel confident coming to Bristol for sure. At the start of the weekend, definitely wouldn't have thought we would have had a top 10 car. Qualifying wasn't real good for us. But we didn't really get to practice on the top because of what they did to the racetrack on the bottom. Everybody kind of ran down there, and we ran some laps up top in practice, but it was not rubbered up and ran in enough to really say, hey, this is gonna work up here. We thought it was gonna work, and Larson and I talked about it a lot over the weekend, and we thought we could get it rolling and it be the best. And he showed in the Xfinity race that it was going to be good. So I wish going back to practice, we probably needed to run up there a little bit more to start closer in the race. We weren't very good to start the race. So that being said, I thought we practiced a little different than normal with what they did to the racetrack. But for me, I was glad that the race wasn't won on the bottom. I think this race is way better won on the top. I thought what they did to the racetrack definitely opened up the bottom for options. I passed quite a few cars down there. I thought the 11, the 19, some of those really fast cars that got their car working could pass some good cars down there. So I thought it made it a two-groove racetrack for sure, and definitely more interesting. So, I don't think it was a bad option.
Okay, we'll go next to Pete and then Rick.
Pete Yakabelli, Associated Press. Ricky, how difficult is it because of the weather to keep your poise and your patience, not really knowing what was going to happen? That must be a frustrating thing at times.
Well, yeah, we've unfortunately, become accustomed to it lately. Last couple of years, it seems like. What I was really bummed about is I thought we had a really good crowd last night. It seemed like a lot of fans were here and excited for the race, and I was bummed that we just didn't get it in. It was nice to see the fans that were able to stay, but I think a lot of fans that didn't get to see a great race, whether they were driving home and had to listen to it. Good job too. Going in and out of getting ready, not getting ready, and we were getting close to 1 o'clock or 12:30 there, and I was still in some workout clothes, laying around in the bus, thinking it was going to rain, and it did. So I got to wait around a little longer, but you definitely get cooped up in the bus and want to get going.
Hey, Ricky, Rick Manell, the Charlotte Observer, and it's interesting that Chris is sitting next to you because the other day a couple of us were asking Joey about Chris winning the other weekend, and Joey said, I don't think average fans really appreciate how hard it is, no matter how you do it, to win one of these races. He said the level of competition at the very top is just so profound. I'm just curious, where you got today, where you put yourself into a position to get a second place win. Can you talk a little about the nuances you're picking up and how that might change the decision making you make over the course of a race? And in other words, if you get into that spot, how do you feel you'd be ready to handle it when that time comes?
Yeah, what Chris and Bob was able to do as a team is, that's what this sport's about. It's all about making the right decisions and the right calls, and and they nailed it at Pocono. There's a lot of people that get wins on fuel mileage or rain shortened races, and that I would take a win that way. But I think we as a team got to run a little bit better before we make decisions like that to really pull off a win. I think Chris will tell you they had some really fortunate circumstances that gave them the opportunity to make that decision and stay out. It's just the way these races work out. But even if you have the fastest car, you're not always going to win. You got to make sure that you do everything that you can do. Make the right pit calls, don't speed, make good moves on the racetrack and not tear up your car. So, it's just so hard to win these races. And, if we keep putting ourselves in the top 5 and in the top 10, you can make different calls as, my crew chief taking 2 tires or, things like that to leapfrog some people and get that track position, maybe start in the lead, and then maybe I could have held the 4 off. So it's just a product of learning.
So it's as much about avoiding losing as it is during the win?
I don't know. We as drivers, we put it all out there and run every lap like we're qualifying to be the best in this series. You can't take a lap off. Here at Bristol, you got to put it up next to the wall and you got to gas it up. And my right arm was almost going numb. I was so tensed up, making sure I hit my marks every single lap there at the end. So we run as hard as we can to win. And I'm just saying that if you're running better, then you have more options as a team to make better calls and make I guess more daring calls, and win some races.
Okay, we'll finish up questions for Ricky with Mike and then Dustin.
Mike Embry, USA Today. The service for Brian on Wednesday, are you going to play a role in that? Do you know yet?
It's been so all over the place with getting everything organized, but I'm sure I will. We're going to get there. I think it's going to be cool. Starting around 1 o'clock, just going to have friends and family tell stories and good stories that we had with Brian throughout the years, and that'll start at 1 o'clock, and then they're actually going to have a race at Kokomo. So hot laps will start at 6:30, and then a friend of ours that was going to play Brian and Lauren's wedding is actually going to play after the race for all the fans and friends that are going to be out there. So Kokomo was Brian's favorite place to race every Sunday night, so it'll be special.
Okay, Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. You've gone through so much the last week and a half, couple weeks, and on the track, off the track. What's the roller coaster been like, and even have a day like today where you come close to getting your first win with everything that you had planned and having Brian's name? How have you gotten through this period? I'm guessing you're just emotionally exhausted at this point. Yeah,
I'm telling you, the Saturday night watching the race from Belleville, as soon as it happened, I texted our agent and told him that he needed to figure some things out before anything was announced. I watched it. The ambulances hadn't even got there, and I went ahead and told him that he needed to figure out a way to get to Kansas, because I just had a feeling that that it wasn't good. So it started Saturday night and went through, obviously, a roller coaster that whole night. I was getting updated throughout the night. I was up till about 2:30 that morning, talking to him and trying to figure out what was going on. So it's definitely been tough, but I think going to Knoxville and being with his family, being with his fiance, and being with friends that we all had a great time together, talking about it, talking through things and talking about all the good things that Brian did, and his organ donation really helped a lot of us really feel comforted with what he was still doing after the fact. And the service Thursday this past week was one of the toughest days that I think I had. But again, just being there and telling stories really I think helped us all get through it. His fiancée Lauren has been a rock, getting everybody. She's supporting everybody, even though you think it would be the other way around. She's really helped a lot of people. So we're really looking forward to getting there Wednesday, and again, just being with all the racing family that we were able to always be around. And I know Brian was watching and wanting us to win tonight, and we gave it all we had. It's he was trying to run 200 races. Somebody asked me, how do you feel coming to here and racing? And talking with Tim, Brian's dad, he was like, man, I feel like Brian's probably mad at me right now because I'm not at home working on a midget to get it ready to go racing, because Brian, all he wanted to do was race, and that's what he was doing, and leading one of the biggest races of the year. And it was, if he had to choose a way to go out, I feel like that was the way he wanted.
And the family and Lauren were here through today also.
Lauren and her mom and dad were here. Tim did not come, and Brian's family, but they came and just hung out all day on Saturday, throughout the day around the motorhome, and I was like, well, rain delays are good for some things. We all got to hang out together and spend some more time together, and that definitely has been helping us a lot the last couple weeks.
Ricky, congratulations again. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
your time tonight.